Hey, this is William Stewart's Gemstones and Fishing Adventures. And I got a nice 7.25 carat Oregon Sunstone. Yeah, I finished this one about 3 weeks ago, I think. Anyways, I'm really happy with it because it was basically a near colorless piece of rough. And the direction the sun comes from leads to the color. I'm happy with this stone, very happy. And yes, every picture is of the same stone, so at every hour the sun's at a different angle or half an hour in the sky. So if sun rises at 7 o'clock, you'd get one color spectrum from that period of time. And actually the stone's a different color slightly at every 5 degrees away from the sun. It changes a little bit and the color becomes from the Pleochroism. That's what's causing color. And so also happens in stones that are doubly refractive, more so than singly refractive. And Sunstone is doubly refractive. So the colorless stones still have some of the chemicals in them that cause the color. But if you cut it right, you can amplify this effect and produce great colors in the stone. Now, this stone works, the angles I chose on this stone makes it work especially well on a sunny day. Now I cut another one 27 degrees for the top crown facet, and it performs better in cloudy conditions or on sunny days when you're standing in the shade. So the angles you cut the stone at will provide you with great color if you're very good at it. And right here I'm seeing blue and green and orange and red. I guess maybe not red, just a dark orange on the bottom. And it's because those two facets pinching the color right there are creating that. And if you take 45 degrees off of each side in a corner and make the sunstone 90-degree corner or less, the area right in between the two facets, if they're at the right angles, will make dark orange, reddish orange to red color. And there's probably 5 to 10 degrees that will, leeway on that. You also have to cut the angles of the stone to the table at the right angle as well. And you see the blue and the green in this is tremendous right here. I mean, I really am happy. And the corners, okay, so there's 4 minor corners, a major corner on the top and the bottom of the stone, and on the ends. The ends is the steepest. The top and the bottom's the next steepest. And the minor ones are only 9 degrees taken off each side. So each one's providing a different color palette. You see the greens are all pointing to the minor stones, and the blues are pointing also to the minor stones. And it's an interesting understanding you get if you study the stone in all the different conditions. So if you go out right after sunrise to 3 hours after sunrise, you'll get a lot of oranges and not much blues and greens. But on this stone, from like 9:30, 10-ish, you start to see them, and right up till noon. And all the way on the other side of noon for about 2 or 3 hours as well. And then in the evening, you get a little different color palettes. But this stone had a steeper bottom facet. The culet facet, that's the one on the very bottom of the stone, was the steepest that I cut. And I made it 1/10 of a degree steeper than the last one I cut as well. So I'm getting more color, but I'm not getting it to be as strongly pleochroic as the 44.3. This is 44.4 on the culet angle. And you can change all the angles, and every time I change one of them, a couple of tenths of a degree or 1/10 of a degree. And I'm really happy to see that blue, because I got that in another stone. So I only seem to be getting that blue at certain times of the day, and also in bigger stones. So, and if I flip it around, the blue will switch sides. So it's not the pigment inside the stone, it's the reflection at a certain angle of the elements inside the crystal. So it reflects from the other side onto that facet and back and forth throughout the stone. But that's where the color is coming from, as well as the spectrum of light that goes through it when it splits, and at that time of day, that's what you get. But light's not hitting it directly. My hand's shielding it. And that's part of the deal. If you let it hit directly, a lot of the blue disappears. So, I'm glad you came to visit me today. I'm thinking about trying to develop a way to sell a stone or two. I'm not ready yet, but I believe the way to do it is to get a P.O. box. And once I do, then if you're interested, you can send me an email that you saw the stone on my video, and I am going to sell sunstones for $3.50 a carat, and sapphires for, I'm thinking, $1,000 a carat, and a 20% discount if they have any flaws that are noticeable. And if people are willing to do that, and they're happy to get a real stone and not something that's not real, then I'll be happy to sell them one. And if someone doesn't like the stone after they get it, for a week, then they can contact me and send it back. But let's say 2 or 3 years later, they want to get rid of the stone that I made for them, they could consign it with me and I'll sell it for them. But I'm not going to have a forever policy. People hit things, crack them, and anything else can happen. Sometimes people need money, and and they think that I can just give them all their money back after I spent it. And I want permission to be able to reinvest the money in another stone. And part of the reason why I'm doing it is I'd like to get into some nicer rough so I can make better videos, and selling a couple of stones every year will help me do that. So I hope you people understand, and I can get better cameras and whatnot. So these are all things you need to do this. I'm making the stones not to wear myself, but just to try and get the most I can out of them. And I'm really happy with this particular shot. I mean, look at all the different colors. Greens and orange. And, some other colors that aren't quite the same. Here it is at a different time. There's more green on one side and more orange on the other. It's just kind of amazing what happens with these. And remember, this is a colorless piece of rock. It doesn't have any color visible in indoor light. It's only when you go outside on a sunny day and adjust it. You're going to move around in a circle until you start to see the color, then you adjust it up and down. And you're looking at the stone, and you're not going to let the light come over your shoulder and hit the stone, because that'll wash out the color. It's different than how you would look at a diamond. You're looking at the stone for color. It's interesting, and I'm glad I'm doing it. It's the new love of my life. Enjoying cutting gems. It's a great passion. Well, this is near sunset, I believe. But like I said, every 10 to 15 minutes you can video the stone standing in the same direction, and the colors will completely change. Well, and I want to give thanks to the Spectrum mine, because this is where the stone came from, and my friend Justin Smith, and also to Chris Rose from the Spectrum mine for doing the work and digging stones out of the ground so that fellows like me who can't travel can have something to cut. And I do make one piece of jewelry every few years, and this one's got me motivated, maybe to make it a pinky ring. It'll look huge on somebody's pinky. Well, I'm glad you came by and watched the whole video. And just remember, if you cut the stone right, it will behave nicely for you, given the right lighting conditions. I mean, if you don't have sunshine, it's just going to be yellow. This is a masterpiece, I think. And as you see, different times of day I got different colors, also different directions. So have a great day.